What you kids do not understand, it's all part of the game.
Oh, it's all part of the game. Come on, everybody. It's a rootin' tootin' super fucking fun game for all the family. Step right up!
HBO's Succession is aptly named for a show whose premise centers entirely around the question of who will succeed Logan Roy controlling Waystar Royco, the biggest media and entertainment company in the world. But the series only operates under the guise of a thriller on who might be next in line for a conglomerate's throne. The game of Succession is, in reality, an impossible one through which Logan Roy controls and wields power over his children. One designed so that only he can win, again and again, and the show's subtext is ultimately about the cyclical nature of abuse. So when Season 3 ends with a twist of Logan gearing up to sell his now declining empire to the streaming giant Gojo, in turn relinquishing the power to decide who succeeds him, Kendall, Roman, and Shiv fight the move. The sale could mean a cash out of upwards of at least $1 billion each. That money means nothing to those who've lived with a grotesque amount of it their entire lives. What Logan has taught them to want is power in the name of his throne, and they've been strung too far and too long by their dad to give the royalty up now.
I don't get out, I leave $5 billion on the table.
Come on, Dad. What are you gonna do with the $5 billion? Huh? Put it on your pile with all your other fucking bill?
Probably, yeah.
And what are we supposed to do?
Make your own fucking pile.
Logan makes out like his decision is gracious, that he's giving his kids a chance to create their own opportunity, failing to admit to the fact that he was the one to recruit their allegiance to Waystar in the first place. He's dangled the CEO position in front of Kendall, Roman, and Shiv in a never-ending cycle. He's offered it as a prize to whoever does his bidding best. As such, Logan coerces Kendall, Roman, and Shiv to buy into his game time and time again, and the best example we see in the series is via Shiv.
It's a game. In the corner, over there, stand there, go, 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 go!
Shiv starts with the most distance between her and Waystar, the one Roy who hasn't worked for the conglomerate, instead building a career for herself in politics, and even getting preliminarily appointed as chief of staff to presidential candidate Gil Evis. This dynamic changes in Season 2, however, after Logan lures her in with a suggestion that she succeeds his reign, a huge promise that breaks her resolve and finally gets her in the ring.
And what I've decided I'd like to do is to formally ask you to come in and be the next chief executive of this company.
I don't think I'm the right person.
Well, you know, I'm pretty smart, and I think you are. You are, Shiv. You're the one.
Once Shiv buys into Logan's proposal and agrees to come on board, however, she's purposely left out of key decision-making and not given a clear answer on where she stands in the company. In Season 3, after Jerry is given the interim CEO position to take the heat of Waystar's cruises scandal, Logan appoints Shiv as a new president, a way to buy her loyalty and ensure she doesn't join Kendall's crusade against him. But yet again, just one episode later, he cuts her out and removes her seat at the table.
Cal's not happy with your level of input.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck him, right?
I don't need another toothache.
Okay, Dad, but if you give in to Carl, then everyone starts to carve me out. There's a line.
Nothing is a line. Everything, everywhere, is always moving. Forever.
It's the constant push and pull that keeps Logan in power and simultaneously keeps the siblings at bay, cuffed by the allure of pleasing their father, of earning his love, and having to do so repeatedly while making little overall progress. But Logan doesn't just convince his children to play this game. He pits them against each other intentionally so that they never rise past one another and he comes out on top, time and time again. Michael and Joe Bluth from Arrested Development put it best.
Listen, you know I didn't set you up, okay? And I really think the only reason you and I always fight is that since we were little kids, Dads always played us off each other.
Dad always said that was your fault.
Succession is riddled with examples of the Roy siblings sabotaging one another, thinking they're getting ahead by doing so, but ultimately just marionette puppets dancing to Logan's beat. After Logan makes Shiv president of Waystar, Kendall ruins her first all-hands speech addressing the cruises scandal by playing Nirvana's Rape Me over the loudspeakers. Shiv takes revenge by releasing a public letter on Kendall's various shortcomings, destroying his already wavering reputation and damaging their personal relationship. Both Kendall and Shiv lose a peg this round, Shiv sinking further into irrelevance at Waystar, and Kendall beginning a cataclysmic downward spiral with a weakened case against his father, not to mention the suffering of their familial bond. Logan, on the other hand, gains in all these aspects.
Sorry, Pinky. Now do you see? Huh?
Roman succumbs to the lure of pleasing their father the most out of all the siblings, adopting an almost sycophantic act around Logan. He's parched for his dad's love and approval, experiencing next to none of it in his youth, evidenced by the fact that he couldn't come up with a single happy father and son memory to give to the media. In Season 3, Roman pushes forward full throttle, no expense too heavy. He gleefully carves Shiv further out of the picture, literally pushes Kendall to the ground at his birthday party, and enthusiastically pitches a fascist presidential candidate for Waystar's backing.
Hey, Dad. I nailed him. I am the only child you'll ever need. You can kill the others. Love you.
And when one of his children manages to break out, get ahead, and even show the slightest bit of competency or position of equality that makes him fit for running Waystar, Logan knocks him down himself, his ego and narcissism too large and too much to allow any one of them to compare to himself. When Kendall sells a minority stake in the company to Stewie in order to save Waystar from the debt Logan himself put the company in, all while Logan was physically unable to take any action, Logan repays his son by calling him a
Fucking idiot.
And when Shiv successfully negotiates with Sandy last minute during the shareholder meeting, while Logan was again out of commission due to his health, he repays her by ignoring her contribution, cutting her out of follow-up discussions and screaming at her for wanting to celebrate the victory.
Shiv, I'm trying to talk to Jerry about something important. Stop buzzing in my fucking ear!
Even in the instances where one of his children may gain some ground towards the prize that Logan is goading them with, he refuses to allow them even the smallest of affirmations for their triumphs. And once he puts them down, there's always another kid looking to please, to take their place.
She being a bitch.
Logan not only forces them to compete against each other in business, he drives their relationships with one another apart, isolating them when they are the only ones that can understand what the others are going through. Revisiting Succession's Season 3 finale, we can see the culmination of the series thus far in a different light. And I love the ending because it is so demonstrative of Logan's tactics of wielding power for control and his abusive nature. Despite the odds in their environment, Kendall, Shiv, and Roman finally come together to face their father after discovering that he's secretly making a sale to Gojo. After 3 complete seasons of being pitted against each other, being scared off by donuts, and all the hurt they laid on one another, they discover that they are stronger together, that they still share some love between them, and they can take Logan if they show each other solidarity. And that moment is groundbreaking for them. During the confrontation, the first thing Logan does is try to break them apart, first with Kendall.
But do you mind not with him in here giving me the fucking doggy evils?
Logan specifically requests Roman to take Kendall out of the room, knowing how difficult it is for Roman in particular to say no to his dad.
I thought we had this figured out.
Yeah, it just might be better, if we all here.
But for the first time, Roman doesn't back down, and he doesn't fold as a weakest link. Even when Logan tries to separate him entirely from Shiv and Kendall, promising only his future in the company.
Come on, Roman. Let's get away from these fucking Jacobins. I've got you. Come on, let's discuss. You can trust me.
You can't trust him.
We're here to say, the 3 of us, to ask and to say, do not do this, please.
It's a pretty radical moment for the 3 of them against Logan. Going back to Logan's assertion for his kids to make their own piles, which we touched upon at the beginning of this video, his manipulation is now made abundantly clear. It gives Logan great pleasure to kick his kids to see if their love for him will cause them to come crawling back, to goad them into playing his game, offering up a prize only to make them lose on purpose, and to prove to himself that he's the winner, and to pull strings he does as the puppet master and then declare them to be not good enough to succeed him, all while pretending that it's a fair game.
And this is an opportunity for you kids to get an education in real life.
When it's revealed that Logan just managed to get ahead of his children and dissolve the supermajority clause, through their mother conceding it to benefit her new husband no less, Logan declares himself the winner of the game he rigged.
You should have trusted me.
Dad, why?
Why? Because it works. I fucking win.
But why does Logan feel the need to treat his children this way? To manipulate and abuse them the way he does? Kendall hits the nail on the head in Season 1's Austerlitz.
You know, I was born lucky. I'm a lucky person. I realize that. And you're so fucking jealous, aren't you? You're so fucking jealous of what you've given your own kids. You can't handle it. You can't work it out.
If I'd spoken to my uncle like that.
Logan Roy was a victim of abuse when he was younger, his back covered in deep scars from his uncle. And the abuse he experienced is deeply embedded in who he is as an adult, as a father, and as a grandfather. And he inflicts his pain on his own children as a result, not breaking the cycle of abuse, but reinforcing it, and I'll bet change to become more emotional than physical. Despite achieving the so-called American dream to such exorbitant amounts of success and being able to give his children what he was unable to experience himself, Logan can't bring himself to accept their privilege. He's deeply envious of what Kendall, Shiv, Roman, and Connor have, despite having given it all to them himself, and this internal dissonance results in the manipulation and emotional abuse he imposes upon them. The only thing he can do with his jealousy is bury it under the proof that he is better than them.
What? What would evil Uncle Noah do? Calling your daughter a coward till she cries? Big man.
Logan!
Come on.
Logan!
You are a fucking nobody. Fucking nobody.
We see his reflections of this abuse in how the Roy siblings treat those around them, in the way Shiv treats her own husband, Tom, how she manipulates him just as Logan does to her. It keeps going, rising and falling across generation like waves. So, Succession in the end isn't just so much a show about who will head the next era of the Waystar Royco media empire, but is more concentrated in exploring the deep underlying ties between its characters when playing an impossible game. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to support the channel by liking this video, leaving a comment, and subscribing for more content like this in the future.